Hi there, I'm Kasha. Welcome along. This is a yoga hands-free session. So we're going to do our yoga today without any poses that involve weight on your hands, like the cat's downward dog, definitely not any handstands. So this is really good for anyone who's got particular issues with weight bearing through their wrist, for whatever those reasons might be. So I hope you can join me. You are going to need, I've got a little cushion here, I think you can see that. If you've got a block at home then that's amazing, but most people weren't organised for their yoga for these 4 weeks to have blocks in their houses. So anything like a little stool or a cushion for when we do the half moon pose. A little towel or something maybe for under your head when you're lying down if you like that. Make the most of what you've got at home, and I'm sitting on a little rolled up blanket, something like this. A small blanket or a towel will be useful for when we fold it and roll it to go underneath your back for the pentacle pose, and then a towel or a blanket is really good for at the end. So pause the video if you need to grab those few things, and then come join me in a seated position and we'll get going. So finding yourself in whatever seated position allows you to have your hips and knees at about the same height, or the knees a bit lower. So set yourself up as much as you need. Close your eyes and feel yourself coming into this yoga time. Here we are, sitting down, slowing down. And start to feel the body settle into this place. Make any little adjustments to your body as you're going, as you feel necessary. And we'll take a minute or two at the start just to feel into the breath flow and develop a nice yogic breath. So first of all, awareness that you're breathing in and out through your nostrils. And you got that going, and just whenever you notice your awareness dropping off, and bring it back to using your breath as your anchor for this practice, to draw your awareness into the moment, what we're doing right now. So right now, let's feel the breath move in around your belly space, so lower than where your low ribs are. Let's try and soften, allow that area to move. And start taking slightly fuller breaths to allow the breath to deepen and fill out in your body, filling your lungs. We're feeling this little movement down in the belly as the first part of the yogic breath, and then we build up to feeling up in the chest and filling right up through your torso. So I'll start you at my pace and then you can do a few rounds on your own, alright? So exhaling first through the nose. Inhaling first, feel the belly move. Then feeling your chest expand. Breathe in a little bit more, filling yourself right up. And exhale, feel the exit of the breath, emptying, move the ribs and the belly back. And go again, inhaling, feel the belly move. Feel the chest and ribs expand, expand a little further. And exhale, feel the ribs coming back in. Tighten the belly a little bit to squish the last bit of air out. Yogic breath, breathing in, feel the belly move. Feel the chest and ribs move right up to your collarbones. Exhaling, feeling that come out until you get to where you're feeling empty. Breathe in for 3 counts, 2 counts, and 1. Breathing out for 3 counts, 2 counts, and 1. Do a couple more on your own. Try and feel that fullness of breath on the inhale. You're actively breathing in. And actively breathing out. Making this one here your last one. And let your awareness of your breath move now to your toes. Give them a wiggle. Drop your chin to chest. Open your eyes and see your toes. And slowly bring them in front of you. Hands behind you, and we'll come into a little bit of movement. So just moving your toes. Maybe you can drum them up and down on the floor. And we'll take a kind of a yoga warm-up now to get the body moving from your toes up to your head. So from the toes, now let's move the ankles. Maybe you can straighten the legs out. Apologies if my feet drift off the edge of the video screen, but you get the idea, right? We're just slowly circling the ankles, keeping the spine as long as you can while you do that, but really focus on warming up through your ankles. Change direction. Nice one. Feel that last one go. Give your toes a wiggle again. Nice work. Let's move up into the knees, okay? So you just straighten and bend one leg at a time. You might want to keep your hands on the floor or just having your hands there on your legs. So just getting a little bit of movement into your knees. One straightens and then the others. And then maybe you can get that going with some ankle and toe movements as well. Wake up through those lower joints in the body. Two more. Last one with a good breath in. Sit nice and tall. You bring your legs into a long diamond shape, so feet in front of you. Now I'm just going to come off my little cushion now because we're moving into the grinding the corn exercise, so we need to move the hips a little bit. You might be okay on whatever you were sitting on. Mine was a little bit high. Alright, so feet softly together, wherever you can stay pretty upright. You need to try and move your hips now, so we've gone from toes to the knees now into the hips. So start by just a little rock side to side. See how that feels. And we can try and turn that into a circle. So lean over to the right. And then lean forward, feel your bottom stick back. Lean over to the left. And lean back and feel your tail tuck underneath you. And then just smoothly try and connect the dots here and make that into a circle. Keep going in the same direction. So to begin with, arms on the legs for support is a good idea. As you're getting this message through your body, what on earth we're trying to do. Try and feel that your ribs are also making a lovely big circle around the outside of your pelvis if you can. And just let your head kind of drift around with it. You can also explore doing this with straighter legs. And with the arms coming in that little bit longer. So for some of you, these long legs and long arm movements will be a little bit much. Good guideline for getting things a little bit safer is to make things a bit smaller and closer to home. Okay, let's try the other direction. So you can either stay with straight legs or come back to that kind of diamond shape. The main movement we're trying to get here is in around the hips, the back. I'd suggest you close your eyes and really feel these last few ribs, shoulders. Try going a little bit slower and tune into the feeling of your breath move as you do this. So grinding the corn, giving your digestive organs a little bit of a nudge. Alright, nice work. So finish off that last one. Let's just stay leaning forward a little bit. So bring your chest forward, and as that's feeling good for you, let your head come down for a moment. And then roll up to through your spine to a nice tall seated position. Go back, and if you came off this and you want to sit back on your little prop, off you go, and we'll do some shoulder movements. Okay, I'm going to cross my legs. Fingers to your shoulders. Feeling the shoulders settle in, and bring your elbows together in front. We just circle them. Elbows coming up and back and down. We'll go the same direction a few times. Inhale. And exhale. Use the breath nice and big and full. One more in this direction. Close your eyes if you want. Changing direction. Inhale to open the chest. And exhale, coming down. So we've done these first ones with movement mostly in your arms, feeling the shoulders move. If you would like to continue for the final few with a bit of a lift in the chest, moving the ribs and the head as well, just let that happen. And everything we do in class, make sure that it's feeling okay for you and your body. Permission to adjust things or leave them out as you need. Okay, last one of those circles. And then bringing your arms overhead. You might want to open your eyes now. Okay, so spread your fingers wide. There's a few poses and movements we'll do today where you've got your arms stretched out nice and long. So this is kind of the top part of our star. Some of the poses, the legs will be stretching long as well. If this is ever causing you grief for your shoulders, you can bring the arms down, or as we'll do on the floor now, you might want to bring them down by your side. But try and have your arms stretching out as long as you can, getting that sense of sort of reaching out really long through your limbs. Alright, okay, so let's come down onto our bellies now. So those of you again who've got wrist issues, just be careful how you get down onto the floor, maybe using your forearms. Lie down onto your belly, a bit more space here, and have your hands about wide as your shoulders, maybe a little bit wider, feet as wide as your hips. And now I'm going to keep my head up so you can hear me, but you probably want to have your forehead down on the ground. Nice one. Okay, so feeling the weight even in your hips. And then slowly lifting your right leg just off the floor. Feel the inner leg lift. So stretch your back and slowly come down. Good whack. And then do the other side. Stretching the leg and slowly down. Okay, go back to your right leg, and this time lift your left arm at the same time. Thumb up. And slowly coming down. Let's see if we can do it with the breath. Other side. Left leg, right arm. Inhale. 3, 2, 1. And slowly coming down. 3, 2, 1. And again, arm and leg lift. You're welcome here to lift your head and your chest off the floor as well as your arm moves. Slowly coming down. Keep going one side to the other. A couple more. So really think about trying to reach out on that diagonal rather than needing to get really high. Feel that beautiful control. And try and keep your hips pretty steady. This will be the last one. Okay, so now pause. So you put your head down again and just listen. Can you lift both of your legs just off the floor? And if that's not feeling good for you, keep your toes on the ground. Some of you might be able to lift a little bit higher. And slowly come down. Good. Now try both arms. Lead with your thumbs coming up. Maybe lift your head, your chest off a little bit. And slowly coming down. One more time with just the legs. So legs lifting off. And slowly coming back down. And then the arms. Maybe the upper body, reach out through your fingertips, slowly come down, and if you can, try all four limbs. Remember, you can take your arms back if you need, or just leave this out, keeping it a little bit smaller, and slowly down. So we'll do 2 more moving ones, and then we'll try a hold. Inhale coming up. Exhale down. Inhale, radiate out. Exhale down. And if you need a little break, just stay here and wait. If you can come up and hold, off you go. Again, if this is too much for your back, take your arms back behind you or leave your hands on the floor and see if we can stay here for a couple of breaths. So your choice of where you're reaching to there, but try and keep nice and steady. One more good breath. Maybe you can get a bit higher. And then slowly come down and just pause. You might want to make a pillow with your hands. Soften your back and just rest for a moment. Good work. Gentle rock side to side and your hips lighten the feet up. Well done. Feel a little bit warmer now, hopefully. Get some movement going. We'll come into a sequence of an elbow plank or a forearm plank. So pop your forearms underneath you, lift your hips. Now some of you will stay on your knees here. If you want to make this a little bit more challenging, tuck your toes under and straighten your legs. And just pause and hold here, making sure you feel pretty steady through your back. If not sure, pop your knees down. Alright, so this is, we'll call it the elbow plank, yeah? We're going to go back to child's pose. So put your knees down if they're not already. If you need support here, walk back on your forearms. Or if you can, in one smooth movement, sink your hips back and land back in extended child's pose. I've just come off the edge of my mat, so I'm going to come forward a little bit. Nice work. And from child's pose, come on up to kneeling now. Whew! Well done, okay. So we'll take a little flow sequence now from this kneeling pose called Vajrasana. If you can't kneel here, you can use props to take some of the pressure off your knees, pop them underneath your bottom, or you could stay in kneeling pose to begin with, alright? So if you bring your hands in front of your chest, just let your body settle into this pose. And this will be our base pose at the start and the end of each sequence, yeah? Okay. Roll the shoulders back. And then we inhale, arms over your head. And you might want to kneel here. Come on up to kneeling. Leave that bit out if you need. Extended child's pose. So we did that just before. Stretch the arms forward, strong through your middle. Hands down and bottom back as low as you can. Good. Okay, so forearms on the ground. So we're not putting weight through the hands and the wrists. Slowly bring yourself forward, and I'd suggest you creep the hands a bit further forward here. So let's get this pose, so you're either walking yourself forward on your forearms or take the knees back. Some of you might be okay with your knees off the ground. Okay, so here's our forearm plank. Then pop your knees down if they're not already, lower your hips and come into Sphinx pose. Let the feet go, hips down, chest pulls forward between your shoulders, roll the shoulders back, chest forward and tuck the chin in a little bit. Go back. So if that's a little bit much for your back, just stay a bit lower is fine. You will feel something in your back, but make sure it's not any niggles or pain. Okay, so from Sphinx pose, we're just going to make our way back. So tighten through your middle, lift your hips up, and as smooth as you can, take yourself back towards child's pose. And then curl up, so head stays down, bring your hands towards your knees as you curl the back, lift your bottom up, and then slowly uncurl, reaching your arms overhead, face to the ceiling. Maybe you want to lean back a little bit more, and then come back upright, and we're back to base. Okay, you got it? Let's see how we go with a bit of flow, just follow along. Inhale, kneeling, arms up. Exhale, child's pose, strong through the middle. Inhale, pull forward into elbow plank, take the hands forward as you need, maybe off the knees. Exhale, lower the knees and hips. And then inhale, lift the chest, keep the forearms on the ground. Exhale, back to child's pose, tighten the belly back and sink back. Inhale, curl up, head is down, and then slowly uncurl, arms over your head, lean back. And exhale, back to base. I'm going to end up off the end of my mat. Here we go. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, child's pose. If that's too much for you, just keep your arms down. Inhale into the elbow plank. Nice and strong. Slowly lower your knees and hips to the floor. Exhale. Inhale, pull the chest forward. Exhale, lift the hips, sink back to child's pose. And inhale, uncurl, arms over your head, arch the back if you want. And exhale, come back to sitting. Alright, I'll call you through one more time and then we'll do 2 more after that. So coming up, inhale. Child's pose, exhaling. Elbow plank, inhale, scoot forward a little bit, strong in the middle. Exhale, lower the hips. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, child's pose, bottom back. Inhale, uncurl. Exhale, sit down. Okay, so see if you can do 2 more without me calling it. If you get stuck, I'm still going. But maybe you can even do this with your eyes closed and just feel your way through it yourself. Take each pose to where it feels right for you. I'm done. If you're still going, just take your time. Finish off. Finish here in Vajrasana. Just notice how you feel after that flow forward and back. Just noticing anything at all you're feeling. And if your eyes are still closed, open them up. I'm going to come on up to standing now. So if you'd like to first tuck your toes under, if you're not so sure about your balance, just make your own way up to standing. Otherwise, let's see if from this toes tucked under position, you can bring your knees off the floor with no hands, since this is a hands-free class. If that seems crazy, don't do it. You never know. Okay, so strong in the middle, strong in the legs, focus with the eyes, always helps with your balance. And then see if you can bring your knees up. Whoop, and no, not me today. There we go. Okay, so strong through your middle, then try and push yourself up to standing with no hands. Voila. Cool, alright, let's go legs wide on the long edge of your mat. And just gently bring one leg at a time, getting familiar with the position your feet are on the floor there. Have a look at your feet, your toes kind of spread. Just see that that's about a good distance for you to take a little bit of a squat in. So we haven't done much with your legs yet today. Let's just give them a little bit of a warm up. Bringing awareness and movement into your legs. So bend the knees out in the direction of your toes. Sinking the bottom down. And try and stay quite long through your spine. Alright, let's go with some kind of star-shaped arms. So when you bend your bottom down, inhale, arms come up over your head. And exhale back. Just 2 more of those. Come back to the breath. Inhale. Exhale. One more big star with the arms. Good, and pause, hands just on your hips. So feeling a bit more familiar with your feet in this position, come down part way into your squat, go deeper if you want, and lift your right heel a couple of times. So just lift and lower. So you choose how low you are in the squat, just feeling that knee going in the direction of your toes and your heel lift and lower. Okay, let's try the other side. Lift and lower, still keeping your body upright. Feel the movement in the ankle again. And each time you put the foot down, really feel it connect into the floor, and then that connect up into your hips, straighten your legs. Let's see what happens when we try both. So bend the knees, slowly lifting the heels, and lower the heels. Nice one, try that again. Lift and lower. One more time. And straighten the legs. Cool. Alright, let's try with straight legs. Just do it once on this side. Lift and lower. And the other side, doesn't matter which leg, just change. Okie doke. Now we'll try both. So keep your eyes still on something in front of you. Slowly lift and slowly lower. As we're coming into balance, if you find like me you get here in front of your eyes, just move it out of the way so you don't get distracted. And we're going to try that a little bit slower, moving our arms as well if we can, okay? So check that your feet are about right there. You know where they are on the floor. We got used to that feeling. Slowly pull your heels off the ground, reaching your arms out wide, up and over your head. And then reach out as you slowly come down. Pull the heels kind of inwards. You feel them connect into the floor, feel up into your hips. Beautiful. Here we go again. Inhale. Reaching out through all limbs. And slowly coming down. One more time. Inhale. 3 and 2 and 1. And slowly down. 3. Pull the legs together. 2 and 1. And soften the knees. Well done. Okay. So with that same integrity of knowing where your feet connect into the floor and you feel them up into your hips, nice good support around for your hips and your back, let's try triangle pose. So turn one foot out so it's straight along with your mat, and this is where you want your little prop like a stool. Some of you might not need it for Ardha Chandrasana, just grab that if you're not sure. Okay, so the back foot turned out a little bit, and let's start with soft knees. Just check again that they track in the direction of your toes. Your hips sit in between there, and where you can with triangle, your legs are pretty straight, but if you feel any discomfort around your hips or your back, bend your knees a little bit and take a load off. Okay, so hips turn, and we're going to be leaning over the straight leg, reaching that bottom hand down. Some of you might be at the thigh, some of you might get a little lower. Try and stay nice and long and supported through your middle. So really good support around your middle, support from that bottom hand, and if you can, reach the other arm up into the air. Just see if you can look up to that hand there. Keep stretching out through your arms. So just stay where you're steady with your eyes. So you might have your eyes on the floor, maybe just in front of you, but feel that you're reaching out through your arms, that you're reaching out through your legs, and your legs, you can still feel the connection up into your hips. Okay, so that's triangle. We're going to try doing reverse triangle. So push strong into the feet, strong through the middle to bring your body up, and reach over the back of your leg, reaching the arm into the ear, and pause as you creep the bottom hand down a bit. Some of you might want to bring the arm over your head, just see how you go, and let's hold that for a couple of breaths. So you feel where you want to reach to with your arms. Can you feel the weight even in both feet? Just one more breath in this reverse triangle, and then just take your own time to get back into triangle. So your body comes upright and then the hips move again like you turn in a steering wheel. Pause, and we're going to come into our half moon pose now, which is a balance. So if you know what you're doing, off you go. If you're not so sure, bend the front leg, bring the top arm down, and come onto the big toe of the back foot. Pop the hand onto your little prop, and then slowly lifting that back leg. Keep your eyes down, by the way, unless you know you're steady. Reach out through that heel. So maybe now you can reach out through both strong, steady legs, maybe both arms. And those of you who've got your balance there, you might want to try moving your eyes a little bit. This is also a good time that you check that what you're standing on has been pretty steady. If it's a little bit wobbly, hop onto a more steady, harder surface. And if you've got that too, you might want to try looking to the ceiling. Okay, slowly start coming out of that. See how gracefully you can get back down into triangle pose. So step the back leg back, find the floor, triangle pose, a reverse triangle, triangle pose, good whack, and then back to the middle. Ooh, lower your arms, both knees and legs steady and even, and just do a couple of gentle little up and downs, the shoulders round, You might want to roll your back a little bit. Very small movement, just getting a bit of flow and feeling pretty even. Because triangles are kind of lopsided poses, so there we go. And we do need to do the other side. So take your prop for your balance if you need it over to the other side. One foot straight down the mat and the other heel turns out about a leg distance, but make sure you feel steady. Check in that the knees go kind of in the direction of toes, your hips can move, and you're nice and upright in the body, and let's go. So triangle pose, if you're ready to lean out, off you go in your own time. Slowly move the hips, hand down for support, lengthen the body and reach your top arm up. Again, if you're getting any chip there in your hips, just bring yourself up a little bit higher and or soften the knees so you feel really good in control from the feet up into your hips. Okay, one more big breath in triangle pose. And then keeping the weight even in both feet. Bring yourself up and go into the reverse. So reach back down that back leg, other arm up. And I'm picking, my hand has disappeared out of the screen, but I've got nice separated fingers on the top arm. See if you can do the same. Feel the weight in both feet. Press down through the feet and lift long through the body and up through the arm. Okay, one more breath. And slowly come back into triangle pose. Move the hips again, lean yourself down and get ready for the half moon pose. So if you need to lower the arm, slowly step in. If you know what you're doing, drag in a little faster. Okay, start lifting the back leg, feel your way through it, maybe straightening the bottom leg once you get there, opening the body to the side a little, feel your toes helping out. Maybe you can reach the top arm. Maybe you can move your eyes to the side. So if you're really new at this, you probably won't start moving your eyes or anything else in the pose for, might even be a couple of months as you're practicing. If you know you're doing this quite steady, you can try Chapasana or any other variation. I won't teach that one today. Let's try one more breath here. Okay. Graceful descent into triangle pose. Find the weight spread on both feet. Push into the feet to lift up into reverse triangle. Find your way back into the triangle. And back up to standing. Good whack. And turn the feet around. Nice work. Let's just try that same little gentle flow. Just bend the knees. Then I'm going to tuck my head and my bottom inwards, round the back very gently, and then inhale, stick it back. Couple more. And then come to stand nice and tall in Tadasana pose. So feet steady under your hips, toes spread. We haven't visited this position yet today. Roll your shoulders back, lift the chest. Just feel quite nice and upright in your body, and just notice how you feel now. After we've done quite a bit more movement, a few challenges with those balances. You feel free to keep having a play with those balances if you want. We're going to move down to the floor now though. So pause the video if you want to carry on. Otherwise, let's try getting down with no hands. So, cross your legs. Soften your knees. Strong through the middle and tall through your head. Slowly bring yourself down to the floor. Good work. And then let's try and come up again so we can do that again on the other leg. So come on up. Spin yourself around. Other leg in front. And now try going down. So you might need a little bit of practice with this with a chair or something beside you. Otherwise we're down. Okay, let's go into bridge pose and make as much space as you need. Come to lying on your back. Feet nice and steady into the floor. arms long by your side, with your shoulders underneath you a little bit. And we'll take about 3 moving ones, so lifting up with an inhale. So once you've got the idea of the movement, with most things we're doing, try not to keep looking at the screen, just gaze. In this case, you're gazing to the ceiling, or you maybe have got your eyes closed. So I'm still moving up and down, just getting the feel for this pose before I then come into a bigger hold. So we're checking the feet feel about right to keep the thighs parallel. I'm going to pause on the top of this one. Keep moving if you need. I'll try and get my shoulders underneath me a little bit, so kind of lean to one side to let the other one come under and then the other. But today, instead of bringing your hands underneath, try perhaps doing star hands into the air, so your elbows are at right angles, hands free, and lift your hips into the air. Good whack. Feel the weight through your feet and your heels. Keep lifting your hips and your chest. Just checking that's feeling manageable for you to hold there for a bit. And those of you who want a little more challenge, you can try one leg at a time. So taking the weight into one foot, lift the other heel off. If it still feels okay, see if you can reach that leg into the air. Maybe you reach through the heel and spread your toes. Keep lifting your hips. And then slowly come down. Lift the hips again, they might have lowered a little bit. And then try the other leg. So don't jump into it, don't assume it'll be okay on this leg. Then lift the big toe. If it feels okay, bring the leg up. If it doesn't, just stay where you are or go back down. Flex the foot, spread the toes, lift your hips, and slowly come down. Let's do that one more time with each leg. Take a break if you ever need, okay? One more one-legged bridge. Nice, strongly supported back. And when you're finishing that last one, see if there's any way you can get a little bit higher. And you might want to try a different arm variation. If you're used to coming into position with the hands behind the back. See if you can stay for about 3 more breaths. And as you're finishing that, just make a bit of space so your shoulders come back down out of the way. And slowly trickle down your spine, bone by bone. Woo. Pause, take the feet out a little bit further. Just let your back settle. Take a couple of really nice full breaths, soften the belly. Those good yogic breaths like we did right at the start. Okay, now if it feels okay for your back, straighten your legs out wide, making a really good wide spread with your legs and your arms. If you need to, you might need to have your knees bent there. And we'll just stay in this kind of big spread star position and see if you can sink into the floor for a little bit. And with the option of moving your arms, now if you're really tight in the shoulders or locked up somewhere, your hands might be off the floor, you can't get them overhead well, so just do what you need to, maybe lifting the arms or don't go as far. If you can, arms come together on the floor over your head. And then like you're making a snow angel, bring your arms down by your sides, back of the hands on the floor, move your hips, and here we go. So I'm going to go inhale, a big spread of my arms out and around. Exhale, my head sinking into the ground a little bit heavier, legs letting go. And again, nice big snow angel. And let it go, beautiful. We'll come back to that position later on. For now, bring your legs together. Hug one knee into the chest and then the other. And gently bring yourself on up to sitting. Woo. Okay, grab your little cushion to sit on if you want. We'll do a breathing exercise. And just start to bring things down a little bit. So that bridge pose and many of the other poses were quite activating, opening and energizing poses. So now we've kind of harnessed that energy. I'm just going to start to slow things down a little bit and bring that energy and awareness inwards a little. Okay, so you can close your eyes whenever you're right with that. Feel your body settle down. And when you practice the pranayama or breathing exercise of the square breath. So if you picture a square, your inhales and exhales go down the sides, and the holds of the breath are across the top and the bottom. So we'll go for about 3 counts. I'll do the first one quite small and then see if we can get the square a little bit bigger, okay? So first of all, breathe in, feel yourself coming up one side of the square. Hold it in awareness across the top. Exhale down the other side of the square. And hold awareness back to where you started across the bottom. Inhale, 3, 2, 1. Holding, 3, 2, 1. Exhaling, 3, 2, 1. And hold, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 3, 2, 1. Hold it. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. Start doing the counting yourself. Hold it. And now carry on your own a couple more rounds from the inhale. Try and keep moving. Inhale, hold, exhale, hold. Keeping each part of that breath sequence even to make a square. If taking the holds even makes you feel dizzy or like you're gasping for breath, just breathe earlier. Or don't make the breath so big. Let's make this your final round. And wherever you're up to, when you finish that, just let the square go and let your breath come to regular pose, or regular rhythm, sorry. Okay, so keep it nice and slow and steady now. Give your legs a little bit of a hug inwards. Then we're going to come into a forward fold. So we'll do 3 more poses now before we come to complete rest, using the square breath to keep things nice and slow, alright? So I'm going to scoot myself back so I don't go completely off the screen. And you stretch your legs forward, and we'll come forward into Paschimottanasana. So, you might need your knees bent to begin with. Try and have the balls of your feet pretty close and your toes kind of excited about this. So toes facing up. Alright, lean your chest forward and just keep coming forward, starting to feel stretch through the back and the legs. Some of you might be able to do this with your legs straight and come on forward. So if you need extra props here, your cushion or something could come underneath the back of your legs, at the back of your hips. And just stay down here for a bit where you're feeling enough stretch through the back of your legs and your back to make that interesting for you. And let's go with the square breath. So you stay with your head down in line with your spine and just listen. Exhaling first. Inhaling 3, 2, 1. Hold for 3, 2, 1, exhale, 3, 2, 1, and hold, 3, 2, 1. Carry on your own. You might want to go a little slower or faster to make it work for you. Feeling yourself drawing forward into this pose. And make the breath rounds or the square you're on now your final one. When you finish it, let go of the squares, let go of the holds, and slowly bring yourself on up, nice and straight in the spine. Right, just take your time if you're still going, and we'll come back up to sitting. I'm going to sit cross-legged for a spinal twist. Okay, so that nice length that we got on your spine then, we'll use that to then rotate, alright? So picking your arms back up to that long reached out position through the elbows and the fingers, settle the shoulders down. Good work. Lifting the chest as you inhale and turn towards the side. Just got enough room there. Good work. Okay, so staying in this twist, so you're using your muscular effort to hold you there rather than your arms. Maybe you can turn your head to the back of the room, or just as far back as it goes, and let's stay there and try and do the square breath. Exhale first. Inhale and hold. Exhale and hold. Good work. And then slowly lower your arms, just let the breath resettle. So not too much effort with your arms here now, just a little bit more, and still allowing the muscular effort around your middle, your ribs, your shoulders and your head to help you there. You choose where your hands sit. Back hand is like a spine prop. Turn the head maybe, and take one more big round of square breath. Inhale and off you go. And as you finish, just slowly turn your head back to the front, turn the body round. And if you're sitting cross-legged, I invite you to change the cross in your legs, or whatever version of seated pose you're doing, and reach your arms long, spine long, settle the shoulders. Inhale and turn the body, and we hold it in this upright position first. Tuck the chin in and off you go with your square breath. So looking to the back if you can, breathing in. Carry on your own, you know this one now. As you're done, lower your arms and just find yourself settle into this position with the back arm like a spine prop to help keep you tall. Watch the shoulders don't creep up. Tuck the chin in. Maybe you can get a little bit further now, but still with lots of muscular effort through your torso from your pelvis right up. Big full square breath, off you go. When you're done, gently turning the head, release the arms, and bring your body back. Good work. Okay, now for one of my favorite poses, which is that star pose lying on the ground. We'll call the pentacle, and I would suggest you have something small to kind of go underneath the back of your head, maybe shoulders. Those of you who've done restorative classes with me before probably know how to organize your kit and your wraps. It's a bit hard for me to do this here on video. And make a roll. So some people like doing this. It's going to go under the back of your shoulder blades, that behind you. So some people like doing this with a bolster. For many of us that's a little bit much, so a rolled up towel or a mat or something underneath there. So my head will go there, my shoulders are here, and my ribs are here, and my arms and legs will be spread. So I probably need that out of the way. Okay, So we'll take this for a couple of minutes, so you do need to make sure it's reasonably comfy. We're not trying to break any world records with the back bend. Get your legs spread. Feel the shoulders come down, arms wide, maybe up a little bit, and the head nestles down. I'm just going to give my neck a little bit more support with that extra little roll in. Tuck the blankie and make a nest for my head. Oh yes. Okay, so we won't doze off. I gotcha. Okay, close your eyes. Now if you find that your back isn't comfortable here, you're welcome to bend your knees and put your feet on the floor. Just try and allow your body to melt into the shape. Just stay with this, consciously relaxing and resting. Feeling the weight of your head sink into the floor. Can you imagine your head a little bit heavier? Feel your shoulders relax. So if your arms aren't resting on the floor, change position. You might need them further down by your side. Feel across that gentle rise in your ribs and the opening around your diaphragm. Soften your belly. How are your legs feeling? The right leg rest a little heavier all the way down to your toes. And the left leg rest. So we're doing this position now a bit more like a rest and melt pose rather than trying to hold yourself in position. So hopefully you've got the right amount of support underneath you that you can just let go. Let go of the holds in your breath. No more squares, just let the breath flow. It becomes a bit more like a circle. Continuous flow of inhale and exhale. Just let it do its own thing. How's the message going to let go, sinking in? Just keep tuning in. Some days it takes a bit longer than others. That's okay. Okay. So we're going to very slowly roll ourselves out of this and come into the same position, Shavasana, without that lift under your shoulder blades. So bend your knees, feet together, roll over to one side and just move that out of the way and roll back onto your back with knees bent to begin with. Feel where your shoulder blades sink into that space. Get your head and neck happy. Arms down by your sides now, and feet not quite so wide, but about hip width apart, wherever feels you can rest, and let go again. Final couple of minutes of class. Keep your jaw is relaxed, your tongue. Now And as we sink a little deeper into this, I'm going to suggest that we count backwards from 10. So every breath in and out is one breath. Each time you breathe in and out and count backwards, that's one step closer to being completely relaxed. You might not even get to 0, but if you do, just stay there nice and steady and allow yourself to relax even more. Alright, so this is breath number 10. Don't make the breath happen, just count your own natural breaths. The next breath will be number 9. Carry on counting on your own. Are you still counting backwards? Pick it up if you got lost. Keep feeling yourself consciously relaxed. Stay with your eyes closed and your body melting there just for a little bit longer. And bring your awareness back to the feeling of the breath in your belly one more time. Feeling your whole body here completely relaxed and your whole body breathing. Conscious of where you are on the floor. Hearing that little bell is your cue to slowly bring a bit of movement back into your toes and fingers. You're welcome to stay there if you'd like. If you'd like to close together, slowly stretch it out a little bit on the floor. You might want to bring your arms overhead. Keep your eyes closed is a good idea as you're slowly peeling out of Shavasana pose. Gently roll yourself over to one side. And then bringing yourself on up to any sitting pose to finish together. Okay, let's take a nice big breath in together. Again, eyes closed can be a good idea right now. Just stay with this awareness you've got in your body. Let's stretch the arms up overhead as you breathe in. Feel your fingers touch together. Feeling in your hands as they come down in front of your heart space. Just take a wee moment here in this gesture of gratitude. A moment's gratitude for yourself for taking time out to practice yoga today. And with the same thanks for your yoga practice, send a thought of gratitude out into the world. Something else you've noticed in your day you're grateful for. And we'll seal the practice in with one sound of Om, If you'd like to join in, inhaling first. Hari Om Tat Sat.